All right, what's up, guys? First live stream, so we'll see how this goes. So pretty much what I wanted to talk about today was a lot of the questions you guys have been having about cards and how I built the cards on my dashboard that I showed in the past couple videos. So we'll cover that, and I also been posting mostly in my Discord, but also on Twitter and stuff about how I'm doing my my lock comparison video. So we'll cover that, show you a couple of the locks that I've already tested and what I think about them so far. So we'll do that, and yeah, put in any questions you guys have, and we'll try to cover them. So I guess we'll start first with cards, and I got some good feedback on that video, just about how it's a little hard to show in a short video, like 17-minute video, exactly how I've set up all my cards. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through in detail just some of the things that I've done setting up my my dashboard and my cards. So let's start with some of these main cards that I've showed in the past. Let me share my web browser again, first stream, so bear with me. So this is my dashboard that I showed in my that's my bad, in my previous videos I showed this dashboard. So I'll show you guys a little bit about this. BT, you can't stay. No, Joseph, that was good feedback. I mean, that's true. You really can't cover this stuff in that short of a time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just go over some of these basics. Thanks, BT. So I'm going to go over some of these basics, and maybe I'll start with something really simple. Maybe just like could start with something basic, maybe just this lighting card, so you guys can see. And if you want to see something different, let me know. But we'll start with just this lighting card for now. So what I'm doing here may not be best practice, just so you guys know. So you really don't want to put as much styling, I think, into a card as I do, and you could do a lot more of it in the theme. And so I'll still show you what I've done. And what I've done is probably not the best way. I had a comment on my last video that there is a better way to do things. I think it's templating in the raw configuration. I'm not at that level, so this is what I'm doing. So I'll show you. So we'll edit our dashboard here. I tried to hide everything that is personal. I hope I do. Hope I do a good job at that. But let's see. So so you can see right away, this is all one card right here. So you can see that this, how I've set up is I have 3 cards. That's all this really is, 3 cards. But inside those cards are more cards. And so that's how it kind of goes. There's 3 cards, and there's more cards inside. But inside those cards are actually more cards. And in those are more cards. And so that's kind of how it goes, that card inside of a card inside of a card. That's kind of how it goes. So if you take a look at my lighting card, that's probably my most useful, one of my most useful, just because there's so many controls in such a small spot. So what I've done in this card is it's a swipe card, and inside the swipe card are multiple, what I called in that video stack in cards. Okay. And inside those stack in cards are other stack in cards. So this is a horizontal stack in card, and this is a horizontal stacking card, and those are vertically stacked with this markdown card, which is what this is. So there's probably better ways to do this, but this is how I did it. So we'll take a look at this one. That's a little bit tough to look at. So we're looking at a vertical stack, and just a note that I'm watching for questions here, but just a note that when you're building these cards, they don't always show up in the UI. When you start using custom cards and custom styling, it gets hard for the UI to actually display it. So a lot of times you're saving it and then you're coming back to change something else. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this simple card here, and again, how I learned a lot of stuff is I copied and pasted out of other people's code, and then I learned what it was, and then I changed it. So it's not like I went to school for this kind of thing where I can tell you all the fundamentals super well, but I can give you at least how I've set these up. So what you can see here is the first card, right? It's all in YAML. There's no visual editor, but it's a swipe card. Okay, so that's the first thing. And again, this code is on my GitHub if you want to just copy and paste it yourself, and then you could do whatever you want with it. So this is all available. I'll have a link in the description of this video. So you can see it's a swipe card first, and then next is that vertical stack. That vertical stack, which I mentioned, is where we stack this lighting and then these rows of buttons. Okay, and then what I've done is, I probably don't need to do all this, but when you do any kind of stacking, sometimes what will be displayed in the UI is a box shadow. Okay, so this is styling that's added to this markdown card. So this markdown card is in a vertical stack in card. Okay, the markdown card is what displays the lighting and with the light bulb next to it. And what's going on there is, just to make sure, I've put in the style. This probably isn't best practice, but this box shadow none, this CSS styling will remove this box shadow. So you might see two cards stacked, but there's a shadow underneath one of the cards, and that's the box shadow, and that needs to go. So you could remove box shadows with that. Okay. Then I have that markdown card in this vertical stacking card. Then I have another stacking card, like I mentioned, and inside that is where I have all my buttons. So here's my second stacking card. It's horizontal, okay? And then I have a custom button card for the kitchen can lights. I have the kitchen sink light, kitchen light strips. So those three are if you go out here, you'll see those are my first three. Okay, so those are all in a horizontal stack inside a vertical stack in card. So they're all in there. Now, if you go back to that and you look at the actual button card itself, I've given the background transparency, which I'm not sure if you even need to do. We could try removing it, and it doesn't really do anything. So that was back when I was just learning this, and I never actually took it out. Very bad practice. But you don't really need to give the background transparency if you have a stack in card. It's already merged the backgrounds together. So I probably did it on all these cards, and I could take that out. But so this is the, like I was mentioning, the horizontal stack in card. Wow, I should have taken these out a long time ago. But so that's the horizontal stack that you see right here. And that might have been what was messing up the UI here. But so you can see if you swipe over, you'll see more. So now when it comes to these button cards themselves, and by the way, I will get into CSS styling. I'll show you where you can see the different ways to style that I've just found on Google. But here's a custom button card. And this custom button card, like I mentioned in my video, is seriously one of the most powerful cards that there is. I mean, it is amazing. So you could do tons of stuff with it. I mean, that's what this is right here. This is a custom button card, which, I mean, blows my mind. Joseph, I'm just looking at your question here. Yeah. I'm not sure if there's a limit of how many cards you can put inside a swipe card. I only have 3, but we could test that in this video. We could test that and see how many. Maybe after I go through the rest of this, we could test. But I'm thinking there's quite a few you can put in there. Maybe it'll slow down your, loading of things a little bit. I'm not sure, but I just have the 3 here. And like on your wall tablet, this is good. I mean, this is plenty. Look how many controls you could put every room theoretically in on here if you wanted, lights for every room or whatever. And so it's really quick access. Hope that answered your question. Let me know if it didn't. So the other thing is, if you look at these custom button cards, so you can set tap actions for each one of these, similar to what you can do with other cards. So you could say, when I tap, I want it to toggle this entity. Okay, that's what this does. The tap action will toggle the entity that I've set for the custom button card. And the hold action will bring up more information for this entity. So let's say this entity was like had dimming capability. If I could hold, in fact, I think it does. So if I hold, I don't know if it's going to do it here. Oh, I just turned them on. I hold, I believe it's going to allow you to have we can check that here. Let me just check. Okay. So if I hold down on this, I'm trying to do it with my mouse here. I don't know if that's going to work. No, so it didn't work here for some reason. But if you hold down on there, it should give you the option to, dim it. So it gives you a little more, the more options, a little box that pops up. So the other thing with this one, so you have the more info. Then this is really cool. So this is where you can set. Yeah, yes, Joseph, yeah. So all the cards are nested inside the swipe card. And again, you can get this code if you want to try it out, and you can make it more simple, or we can even build our own custom one. I can open up my test instance and we can build a custom one. Just let me know in the comments if you want to me to just build one from scratch. I could do that. But then with one more thing with the button card, you see here with the state, what you can do is you can set things like the color and the icon for a state. So let's say what it says is if the light is off, the color of that icon should be, and what it is black with a 0.3 alpha, which is like opacity. So it's like 30% transparent, I think, or maybe it's 70% transparent with black color. So when you look at that, when the light's off, it has this, no matter what the color of the background of this card is, it's going to have a slightly darker color because it's just a transparent button, kind of a black transparent button. So I did that for each one of these. So when they're off, because with a custom button card, you may have to set this if you want it to be exactly the color you want. And again, I think you can set some of the stuff in themes. I haven't delved too much into themes. As you can see, I'm just using a custom theme here. So that being said, I think, so we went over button card, and there's a ton more you can do with button card. If I see anything I didn't show before, I'll show you. You could change the icon. So what you do for icon, I think, is you just add a row here called icon. And this is all in the Home Assistant documentation, but it is easier to see when someone's showing it to you. So we have that. Let's see what else we got. So what I do is at the end of each, what I've done is, here's an example. So you put styling. This is the card mod CSS styling. You put that at the bottom of a card. Well, you can put it at the top, I guess, but it has to be indented properly. So this style is modifying this card. So this custom stack, this horizontal stack, is being modified by this styling card. I believe I just did that right. Yeah, this styling card. So what you do is I set the background to transparent. Now, I'm not sure if I even need to do that because I did another stack in card, but I also set the height. So that's a really important feature, which makes you be able to really dial these in, especially if you're trying to fit it on a certain size screen, is being able to force the height of a card. So instead of Home Assistant just making it whatever it's going to be, you can force that height. So you could see, I'll just remember I'll do like 190. Let's see how this adjusts. So you can see how it extended the bottom significantly, because for that horizontal stack in card, I made the height super high. So I can drop that down to, I think it was 110, right? And now it's a nice height. So you set those exactly how you want. Really nice to be able to set heights. That's a big one. The other one is for this one. So this would, I believe, be styling the whole card, which includes this lighting here. But this is a font size thing. So if you want to customize font size for any of these buttons, or for here, this markdown card, that's where you use the font size style. And throwing that in is super nice because you can just, forget trying to figure out what card, how exactly you do it in Home Assistant. You just put in card mod and you can style however you want. Now, again, you really should do this in theming. And you can see with this card, I think I did a different size here, which I should fix that because that's a rookie move. So size 25, and I go up here and it was size 20. So I can change it to 25. That should match now. So Yeah, so that's how you style. That's how you style cards, pretty much. Now, where I got this from, I'm gonna save this first, and I'm gonna grab something from a different screen here and pull it over. So I went to this is the website I first looked at, called W3 Schools, and it has how to CSS cards, which is like exactly what we're looking for. So what you do here is you can look to see, they give you the different ways to style. So you're not looking at all this crap. This is stuff that's not really important, but what you're looking at really is like stuff like box shadow, right? Padding's a big one. That's how you can kind of push the contents of the card toward the middle and give some padding on the outside. That's something I've used in some of my cards. I'll show that actually where I've used that. There's margins, there's border radius. So that sets, in your theme, you can set the border radius to be like 20px, and it gives a nice, iOS feel to it. But you can actually set the border radius by card if you want. This is not the best way to do it, but there are times when there's no other option. You don't want to change an entire theme. And from what I understand, you can do it templating for certain type cards. It's going to have that, but I've never actually done that. But you can see border radius. There may be more here. It looks like there's a next. I don't know. I haven't really gone too much into this, but I think it was this website is where I started learning some of these. And that's basically what I use. Background color. And maybe there's more here. I'll have to look. I don't know if this is really going to do it. But you can see background color. You can say transparent. You can actually put the hex color. You can put RGBA, which gives you red, green, blue, and then it gives you the alpha. You can set the width, height, border, perspective. I'm not even sure what that is. Position. That's important later on, but tons of stuff. Text align. So I hope this is a little bit helpful, this reference. And I was supposed to put this on in the description. I'll remember to put this in the description of this video and the last video as well if people want to see it. But anyway, that's a good website. Actually, here, I'll put this in the chat if I can. This will be a first time thing here. So there's the website. If you want to check that out, you can check out the different styling they use. So anyway, back to our dashboard here. So that's how you do CSS styling. Tell me what you guys think. If you want me to actually build a card from scratch, I can go into my test setup and I'll build a card from scratch. And one of my test setups to see which one. And then we can build a card from scratch. I can show you, what that looks like. So let me know. The other thing I wanted to show was this. So sometimes you want, if you look at this card, see how these are different heights. And in a tablet, you really want these cards to be all like as close to lined up as possible. And so the way to do that is to adjust heights. So I think for this card, I've adjusted the height. But what you see is the whole weather card couldn't fit in there. There's a little bit cut off, but too bad. I want this to be, okay, Joseph, I'll do that. Thanks. The weather card's a little bit cut off, but as you can see, I wanted this a certain size, so some things will get cut off if you force the height. But what I did here, what I wanted to show, and I think I can show that here, is if you go to, this is brutal. Yeah, this is the thermostat. So I did a ton of styling on the thermostat. And the reason why, it's missing now. Some of the styling I did that's not showing up because of a file that's moved is I actually put a Nest icon right here because I use Nest thermostats. I put a Nest icon, and that's the wrong one. What this does right here, what this styling does right here is it actually grabbed that Google Nest logo and slapped it into the card in the top corner. So you position it to the right, no repeat, all those things. This is the styling I used, and I had to tweak it all to figure out exactly how to get it to the top right. But that was there. So you'd see the Nest icon up there. I'm not sure where that went. I must have deleted this icon or something changed. But anyway, that's how you can put an actual like image in the background of your card. And that's how these person cards are done too. these person cards here. So what I wanted to show though is a little further down, I believe I put a margin. See, I put a margin here, and what that did was, let's see if I change this, if it'll force it to show up. Yeah, shows up. So the margin is actually what's down here. So if I put like, it's 16, if I put 20, that's not really showing. Let's do 50. It extends this margin right here between, like, it's like the space from the content to the edge. So I can put 16. So you can actually adjust margins to adjust the entire column to get exactly the height you want. And that's a lot of this custom stuff. So when people have, you know, taken my config for a Lovelace, well, it's just called dashboards now. Sorry, Zach. But when they've taken it, this stuff might not mean much to them or be useful, but that's what I use. I use a simple thermostat card for these thermostats. It's by far the best thermostat card. And man, I wish someone would develop a better one. I think Zach might be working on that for the built-in cards, but this one's the best I've found. So there's that one. Again, there's so much to go into here. I could go into. When you swipe over, you see all the graphs. Those are mini graph cards. So those are the best graphing card there is out there. And what those are is pretty much, it's like that sensor card. I showed this in my video. It's like the sensor card, but you can do tons of stuff. Like what you saw, I think it shows here. When you go like this, it didn't show here. You can have it so this line gets drawn after the card is displayed. Well, that might actually work if I go like this. Oh yeah, here it works here. If you look here, see how those lines get drawn in? And that's because I had the animate function turned on. So that's really cool. Having that animate function, it looks nice. Doesn't really, I don't think, use too many resources. And yeah, so that is, that's what I did. I put a grid of these cards. And again, those are stack in cards. And then, so it all looks like it's all one card. And it really makes things so much cleaner than those standard dashboards that you build. But having it fit all nice together, a lot of it is using margining and setting of heights, figuring out what card. So I have some issues here, where see how this card is a little bit taller? It leaves this gap here. So what I really need to do is I need to apply the same styling that's on these two cards to this last card. We could do that now, actually. So if I look back in here at my swipe card, inside my swipe card, like you mentioned, Joseph, I have really all my cards in here. So I have 3 vertical stack in cards. 1, 2, 3. So this height styling that's here is not in my other one, I would guess. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to try doing that. Let's see. Let's go down to the bottom. So I go down to the bottom and yeah, sure enough, the height isn't here. So I just did. So I'm going to try putting the height in and see what happens. Again, I haven't messed with this in a while, so just got to tab it in to make sure it's properly. So we'll see if that's better. No, that didn't do it properly. Unless, no, I'll have to see what I did here. I don't know if I want to spend too much time troubleshooting. Maybe we'll start with a new card. Let me just see here. Now it's bothering me. I have it here. I'll have to figure that out. But maybe we can start with a new card. Let me just pull up I think I'm going to pull up my Home Assistant yellow for the test because I have all the cards installed. So this is the one I used, if you guys recognize, for the previous video. I pulled up, this is the one I used for that. So you can see like the swipe, there's all different animations. And I got to put the link to this too, where you can see the different animations, but you can see that one's like a fade. So let's just build a new swipe card, and I'll just show you how I do that. We'll just do it here. All right, so I'm going to delete these. So actually the first thing I do, I type in swipe card. I actually go right to the documentation because this is where I think this is the one right here. So this is where I always go, because I think this is probably one of the, like, you always want to start here, and they'll kind of give you some ideas. So they actually just reference Swiper, which is like what this card is built on. And again, notice that it's not archived anymore. Interesting. But anyway, they built it on Swiper, I guess. But once you've installed it, you're going to use, it says you just add it with this. Okay, it doesn't really give you much more. So you need to find out, well, what are the other options for Swiper? So there's documentation for Swiper, and I don't know where exactly it is. Get started, maybe. I think I went to get started. I have to look around, but I'll find the link and I'll give it to you guys. But I was able to choose the different ways in which it animates, and that's pretty much all Swipe Card is. So you could just copy and paste this if you wanted, or you could just type it in. So you go here, we're adding a new card, just doing a manual card, right? So just do custom swipe card, and then you got to do cards, and here's where you got to do your other cards. So honestly, sometimes it's easier when you're building cards like this just to paste in a card. So before we even do this, what I sometimes do is I'll just find a card. Like, let's see, like I'll just pick like this card. Okay, I want to take my processor temperature, and I'll put that in. So I just copy this right out of here, and honestly, what you can do is you can do a show code editor, and you can copy two cards. So this is the code editor. You can just copy both of these cards that were all part of this vertical stack. So you had a 3 in a vertical stack. I'm just taking these two, and these are what I'm going to swipe through. So sometimes it's easier to pull them out of existing configurations. But if we go, that was not what I wanted. Over here, we'll add a new card like I did before. And I wish manual card was at the top instead of all the way at the bottom. But swipe card, like I mentioned, and then you got to put cards at the bottom. And then you can just paste those two cards in, and boom, you got your swipe. But that styling isn't exactly the way you want. You might want that flip or whatever else. So what you do, just save it. You got your swipe, and then what you could do is you got to look up online. I have to find the exact, but there's parameters effect. So you could choose whatever effect. So I'll just copy that out, put it in here, so you can see. So we're putting in what effect we want. So there's fade. There's a bunch of them. Let me see if I can find that. Swiper. Let's see. Swiper card parameters. Let's see if we can find that. I'm risking Googling here. Let's see if I can find it. Might be here. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can find it here. Let's see. So these may be some of them. I'm not sure if this is the best way to. So I think I just found like previous people who've done this in the past, but I will find where it was, where that link was, and I'll post that so everyone has that. Oh, okay, maybe this is it. No, I don't know. Let's see if this is it. Yeah. Let's see if we can find this offhand. I don't think we're going to be able to find it. I'm not going to be able to find it on here, but pretty much there's a bunch of different options. And what I chose is just the 3 that actually looked decent. So one was flip. So we can do that. Here, what we'll do is, so one is flip. So that looks like this. That does not look like that. That's fade. So that's flip. And then the other one I actually used in here, I like this one. This is called cards, I believe. We're going to find out shortly. I think this is called cards. Let's find out. Where's that swipe card? Oh, it's called Cover Flow. Cover Flow. So that one was probably my favorite. So here, we'll put that in here. You can see. I promise you I will find this link, but I just can't do it live. Yeah, any questions, let me know here. But so here's Cover Flow. You can see it has like this little like pulling back of one card and bringing to the front of another. I think that's awesome. So that's what I put for the center. And then for the other ones, for these, I kind of wanted it to look like it was just moving over. So I didn't. But again, let's say I want to do Cover Flow. I'll do that now just for swipe card. I think I didn't even put a parameter on here, but let's just make sure. I don't think I put parameters. So we'll put one in here. What was that called now? Remember. Effect Cover Flow. We just copy and paste that. That's good. So it just adds a little flair to your card. So let's see now. Yeah, it's got that little flare. Maybe I'll keep that. That looks nice. I like that. So you can do that. And then you got your little modification. Oop, wrong one. There you go. You got your little Cover Flow animation. So that's one of my favorite. I did like Cube. I think there was the Cube too. I think there's one called Cube. We could try that. Let's see. Wow. That one? No. Maybe. Yeah, Cube. See that? Where it gives like a cube shape. So if you're into that at 90s, early 2000s look, there's what that you can do. So I think, let's see. So this is just a regular button card. I could show you also a custom button card. So again, the easiest way to create a new card is just to copy from somewhere else. So I can show you a custom button card here. And what we can do is that'll show you how you can change the icon. Maybe I can show you how to change the icon based on the state, which I kind of already showed. But let me see here. Let's see. I'll pull up a custom button card. I'll show you how you can change. I kind of already did this in the video, my previous video, but just for kicks here, I'll show you how to change. I'll just grab a random button, put it into our test setup. Sometimes I just create an alarm panel and then I paste this in there because I don't like going all the way down to the bottom to the manual card. So obviously we don't have a sync light in this test system. So what we'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll put in light dot. And what's awesome about editing the YAML, hosts and devs have gone so far. It's automatically showing up. So we'll do my desk WLED. Okay, so what you can set is things like, values for states. You can set state colors, icons based on the state value. So for light, it'd be on and off. Cover would be open and close, I believe, and things like that. So let's say for on, we want it to look different. So value on. Oh. I'm gonna move something here. Okay. So for value for the on, let's say we want to change the color to red. There you go. It's red because my desk light strip is on. Okay. So, or you could just say white. Maybe that goes with the theme. Or I believe there's a way to even set it to the color that the thing is, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But now let's say we want to say, well, when it's on, let's say we want the icon to be an LED strip, right? So you know that you start with MDI. I think you start with HASS too, but LED strip, I like the LED strip variant the best. So you click that. So you can see when it's on, it's the LED strip variant. Now when I turn it off, now it's the original, what it was. I should change this to desk light strip here. So you can see on that way, off that way. And again, this is not something you would normally do. Yeah, Jeff, custom button card is probably one of the best cards. I mean, it's insane. Super props to the guy. I should look up the guy. I gotta shout this guy out here. whoever did this. And I'm sure there's a bunch of people. Yeah, shout out to Rom Ryder. What a legend. I'm not sure who else did that, but who else was part of this. Probably there was like 23 contributors here. But yeah, you can see all kinds of stuff you can do. And I haven't even gone into half of what you can do with this card. But again, if you want to change this icon, this is a really cool way to do it. Super cool way to, see something change. And where I've used that is on my mail card. When I get mail, so my mailbox opens. When my mailbox opens, when the mail person opens my mailbox, puts mail in, it announces on my speakers that I have mail, and this thing turns on. And what happens is it says mail delivered at, and it actually sets a custom helper that's running in the background to the time. And then that time is actually displayed on this custom button card. And then with a template. And then what I do is the icon changes. So it turns blue and it changes to this, you've got mail. When you go like this, it changes the color and everything. So I can show you that quick. So look, you can see value is off. So this gets toggled. Yeah, true. It may not be the most powerful card. Maybe the most powerful that I've used. But you can see here what I changed. So I have the icon be this, and it's this when the mailbox is opened. And there's how I put the time in from the custom helper. So then you have no mail. If there's no mail, it says no mail underneath it. That's what the name does. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do. So it says no mail, but if I get mail, it changes the name and everything. There's tons you can do here. That's just scratching the surface. If you look at over here, I'm going to change. I have to just do this so things will show up. I think if I change things, it shows up. That's really weird. But as you can see, here's my cards. I got this from a guy on Reddit, and if I could remember his name or find his post, I would shout him out, because I knew nothing about custom button card until I found his post and I started trying to figure it out. Okay, but it's super powerful. But what you could do is you can, with styling, you can put a background image. So that's why I made a Bitmoji of myself, since I didn't have an iPhone at the time, and I only have a work iPhone right now, but I put a Bitmoji, not Memoji or whatever, in the background. And then what I did was I set the background size, and then no repeats, top center, kind of centers it. Joseph, I actually use a Yolink sensor, which right now is cloud dependent. I did a video on Yolink. Check that out if you want to see how they work and stuff. They'll work up to they say up to a quarter mile away. So you have this massive range. So I actually have a sensor in my shed to tell me if I left the shed door open or if someone's trying to steal my lawn tractor. But I have a sensor there. The only problem is the hub is cloud-based right now. But when that hub, they're planning on making a local hub. When they do, I'm going to get my hands on one ASAP and review it, because it's a game changer. It uses LoRa, which is a long range, it's like 9 something megahertz or whatever. Yeah, exactly, long range. So it's super cool, and also it doesn't get interfered with by metal boxes like Z-Wave does. I put a Z-Wave sensor in my mailbox, didn't work. I had to mount it outside with a Zeus weatherproof sensor, but it's long range. This is LoRa, and they actually make like long range light switch. So let's say you want to have a light in your shed, you can get their light switch. If you have power in your shed, you can wire it in, and then you can control it from that hub, which is communicating all the way to the back of your yard. So it's super cool. So soon I'm in contact with the manufacturer, the CFO or CBO or whatever, and as soon as he tells me they have a cloud free, like a local only hub, I will definitely see if I can get that from them, and or buy one, whatever. But if you look at Yolink, I don't want to go too much on a tangent, but if you look here, cloud push. So It's not fully, but you can see what they have. Look at this. They have thermostat, smoke sensor, valve controller, switch, lock, vibration sensor, all sorts of stuff. And what they have that they're going to do, and I really want to use, is they have a key fob. So you can have a key fob that is controlling anything in your house from a ways away. So there's a lot of cool things that I want to try. But yeah, so that's them. That's what I'm using. But as you can see, for this, back to this person card that I was showing you guys, hey Johnny, how's it going? Good to see you. So what happens with this card here, this person card, is I put in the padding, I put in the background like I mentioned to you guys, and then you can put custom fields. So I put it's a custom field I call location. And again, I copied this from someone on Reddit and I learned how it works. But you can see that I bumped it exactly where I wanted it on the card. And then what it is the color changes based on the device tracker that tracks where I am. So that's a Pixel 6 Pro, and I did the same thing for my wife with her Pixel 6. So it'll say work. I have zones, and it just tells the zone, and it changes based on the zone. So if I'm at the zones that I have in Home Assistant have icons, so they're icon displays. I believe that's how it works. I kind of forget, but yeah. So that'll change to like an office building for work. And if we're just not home, but not at any of those places, it'll show a house with a red arrow. And I may put the grocery store on here because we go to two grocery stores, so I might put that on there. Yeah, Johnny, I have the same thing. I have Zigbee sensor in my fridge, and it's working great. The Centralite Zigbee door sensor with temperature sensor built in is awesome. It's one of the best things you can use for your fridge door because you know the temperature and the state of the door. That's actually what I have. If you guys look here on my, I don't know if I should show this, but yeah, I will. If you look here on my in my kitchen, there's gonna be some stuff messed up here. I apologize. This is a mobile dashboard, but you can see my fridge card, got the temperature of the freezer, and I got power, and the door's closed. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, and Jeff, you were saying use Z-Wave for your mailbox. Wow, that's awesome that it works inside it. Yeah, I had a Zeus. Now, my Z-Wave network, I have like a brick front of my house. My Z-Wave network would not reach my mailbox. It was brutal. And I had to stand at a certain spot. It was bad. I don't know. I even put a repeater right outside the door, and that fixed that, but barely. And I wanted something inside, so I used Yolink, and it's been rock solid. You know, cloud connectivity, I know we don't want to rely on that, but it's been pretty solid. So that's button cards. I mean, I'm not sure if I want to get too much into it because I'm not an authority on really any of this, but I don't really want to get into the button cards too much. If there's any other dashboard type stuff. Oh, someone was asking me on, and they're gonna have to just watch this if they're not on. I'm not sure, but someone was asking me about announcements, how I do my announcements. Oh, that's crazy. That's awesome, Johnny, that you could diagnose that. Actually, my brother diagnosed a problem. He bought a house. He totally redid it, and then he was using his he had some split units put in for heating and cooling, and they were having issues, and he diagnosed it with a Aqara Zigbee temperature sensor. So that's pretty cool. He can show the tech that came out to his house, you know, on his wall-mounted dashboard, the temperature and everything. So pretty cool. All right, so I'll quick show these announcements because I use these a ton, and you might do the same. But so the last stack here, I'm just going to show. You have to have. I just got to do this here. You have to have Alexa Media. I'm going to trigger so many people's devices. The She Who Shall Not Be Named media player integration, that one custom one from Hacks. You have to have that first in order to text to speech. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. So you have to have that built in. So first, you have to have that integration first, because then all of your Echo Dots will show up as media players, and then you can text to speech. Okay, so let me see here. So what does Johnny say? I briefly covered that mini graph card, and honestly, I didn't cover it very well. We can go back to that if everyone wants to see that, because that is good. That is one of my favorites. There's so many, and it's very, very well documented. Hey, Johnny, thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I can cover that in a little bit. Johnny is member number 3. All right. All right, so let's see. So let's go into just how these work. So am I looking at the right one? I'm looking at the custom announcements. So what I may not have showed, I did show, you can do custom announcements. Okay. And what those are is, you can see how these are set up. So what you do is you pretty much specify, you want to use a mini media player. So that's a custom card as well. And that custom card allows you to do text to speech input, which is cool. So what you do is, one of the configurations is TTS. You got to say the platform and type. Will do. Yeah, BT is one of the other members as well. I should do shout outs in the videos, I guess. All right, so you put TTS in here, okay? And what that allows you to do is, when you type something, it's going to announce it. So I showed at the end of my video, I don't know if you guys stayed to the end, but I showed where my wife could type something in, and that exact sentence will come out. And one thing I noticed is with Google, because you could do this with Google as well, and versus She Who Shall Not Be Named, Google is so much worse. It sounds like a robot. And She Who Shall Not Be Named actually sounds like it's saying a sentence, so it's a lot funnier and a lot better. So I only use her. I don't use Google, because Google's just not great. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, the Apex Charts card is amazing. It just takes time to figure out, and I'm so glad Bearded Tiger covered it in a video, so I don't have to. I should actually just link that. I'm gonna put a link to his video. He did a video on charts, all kinds of data, and I'm telling you, it was a good video. So I'm gonna copy a link address here, and I'm gonna put that. Oh, I just lost something. My bad, guys. Just lost. Give me a second, guys. All right. My bad, guys. Hope you guys didn't just get surprised there. Here, let me get back to where I was doing sharing my browser here. Yeah, so sorry, that was a camera issue. So it should still be good here. So what I was saying is, yeah, that the Google the She Who Shall Not Be Named has a much better voice, so that's the one I used. So that's kind of how you do that, and you can do the same thing with Google. So that's the custom announcement where you can type in whatever you want. But I know some people were wondering probably about those little buttons I press. So I'll show that. So what happens here is I'm going to find the first one. So some of them I actually use a script. Okay, I'm not sure why I did that. Okay, because what you can do is you can do instead of calling a script that then plays this sound, what you could do is if you go to call service, you could do notify. Okay, and then what you do is you could just put in the message right here. So you're gonna have a custom button card, right? Like I guess I should show that probably. So you have a custom button card, and the action is going to be call service. The service is going to be to notify She Who Shall Not Be Named, and then what speaker you're on. And by the way, Mark Wattech has a great video on this, so definitely check his out. I'm going to post Bearded Tinker's video that I was mentioning. I just realized what I was mentioning. So that's Bearded Tinker's video on the charts cards. Really cool. But yeah, so what you do is you have a custom button card, and then you have this notify. And what you do is you could put in, so this is like my kids are watching a video, like a show or something, like My Little Pony or whatever, and you come to the point where you need to let them know it's time to come upstairs. So you just tell them that's the last episode. So you type in your message. Boom, type it in. And you got to put in data. It's type TTS. You don't even have to put target. I don't know. I found this, on some documentation somewhere. And then you can put in an icon if you want. So I put like a camera, like they're watching a video. And I named it last episode for the name there. And boom, there you go. It'll announce that. And so you can do time for school, come upstairs, lunchtime, supper time, bedtime, all sorts of stuff. So this is a really cool one, I think. It's one that we're using all the time. Time for supper is a big one. But yeah, it's super nice to have. So that's the custom button card. I don't know if you guys wanted to see. Do you guys want to see? I could show you mini graph cards. Might be best to show you. It might be best to show you guys. I gotta find it now. Just from scratch. Where I gotta find this. How do you find the GitHub? Oh, this is it. So this guy, shout out to Carl. What a legend. This is one of the best cards. I can't say it's one of the most powerful because it might not be, but it's one of the best. And as you can see, you could do all kinds of things. Like there's so many options. Like if you just scroll through the options, look at all these options. It's insane. So I can just show you some of the options I've used and what I like. So, and again, what they do is they give you, when they show a graph, they give you the code, which is so cool. So you could just, I like this one. You could literally just copy this, right? Copy this. Then you go over to, your test setup, and I just choose alarm panel, like I said, and then delete the code because it's annoying to have to go all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so the sensor's not available, obviously. So we'll pick a sensor. So I love how it auto-populates. And CPU temperature. Okay, and save. Boom. You got a graph card. I'm just moving this up a little bit. So that's super cool. So they have so many different options. You don't even have to. Yeah, just tell you which one you should use. Honestly, some of my favorites have been. I like the fill underneath. Okay, and probably my favorite. I'll show you what I've used. Okay. One of my favorites is this gradient you can do. So let's grab the code from this. I'm going to grab the code from one of these. And one of my favorites has to be this gradient thing. So I'm going to copy that. Oh, by the way, just because I was mentioning before about building cards. So these little cards, that's like 1, 2, 3 cards all in one, right? These, when I'm building cards, I'm making my own custom cards by smashing a bunch of stuff together. Ignore the fact that these temperature sensors are out. But as you can see, like I crammed a bunch together. So if you look, I'll have to do like, hold on a sec. This is the one thing about custom styling I don't like. Okay, so you can see like I actually put a entity card here. I put a chips card next to it in a stack, and then underneath that in a stack, I put in this mini graph card. So man, it looks so great when it comes out. And it's all about, to me, it's all about that stack in card. The background's all one. So it looks the exact same. It looks like it's all part of one card. So, and then when I click the card, I think it's if I click the entity only. If you click this, something else happens. When I click it, it takes me to my living room. And I can go through this, but I have to squish it down somehow, which might be a pain, but I'll figure that out. But yeah, so that's that. Let's go back here. So let's do the gradient. So, but we'll use the same. So we got to change the sensor to processor temperature. So let's say, that's not what I wanted. So let's say, what's going on now? No type provide. Oh, it's gotta get rid of that. All right. So let's say you want to just have your process temperature, and see, I don't even show anything above this. So I hid the state and name from that previous card because I put my own custom state and name. But if you get rid of those, it'll show them there. I love how it's filled underneath. That's one of the things I love. But this is the threshold, so you can set thresholds. So let's just say that like let's say that like 107 is okay, but above 110 is bad. So you say from 0 to 107. Let's go like that. And so from 0 to 107, let's just say is light. I think you do things like light blue. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. No, you can't do that. I might have to do custom, but let's just say blue. I don't know. And then I'm going to get rid of most of these thresholds because we really don't only need 2 just to demonstrate. I hope I didn't delete anything I shouldn't have. No, that's fine. Okay. So what's on the toilet paper? I'll show you that. It's just my bathroom. It's a way of indicating bathroom. I do not have any weird sensors in there. I just have like a leak sensor for around my toilet. I'm not even sure that's displayed some other stuff, but let's do let's just do like green, I guess. I don't know. This should work. I'm not sure what's going on here. Why it's not working. So this has to be above and below. Something not, oh, you know what it is? You have to do hex here. So let's just pick 2 of the colors that I used. So we're gonna have this color from 0 to 107. It's gonna be this color, whatever this ends up being. And then from 107 to 110, so that'll be the next. I think that's how it goes. Let's get rid of these. Yeah, whatever these colors are, that's how it's gonna be. So let's actually, no, let's just say from, what am I saying? Yeah, from 0 to 110. Okay, that's what it's going to be. So from 0 to 110, you're going to have blue. And you can't really see. Maybe I should make it like 112 so you can see. Or 113 maybe. So that should work. Let's see if that comes out right. No, that did not come out right. I had to figure out why this is not coming out. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Like, that should come out with a nice gradient there. I'm not sure why it's not. How about if I do like 100? I think you can see how it's got a gradient, but it's really close. I guess 108 to 115. Maybe I have to do that. Let's say if it's 108. Let's see. There you go. So you can see the yellow 108 and it goes up. So what that is, why that's cool is just a quick look. A motion sensor in the bathroom. I don't think so, no. But what you can see here is like this nice cool fade. this gradient. So that's just an example of stuff you can do. You can move this over to here, tons of stuff, but I don't want to get into that. I'll show you my mobile here, my mobile dashboard. So the problem is I don't know how to shrink this down so that you guys see it as if it's on a phone. I don't know how to do that, so my apologies, but it's going to look funny, but it looks really nice on a phone. So the bathroom, yeah, all I have is the temperature sensor must be out. But what I have is temperature, humidity. I have a main light, night light, vanity light, and then the fan. The only issue I have with this setup for the bathroom, and this is really quick, but it's nice to have it in case you want to quick turn on the lights there. But the issue I have with this one is that the main vanity, main night light and fan, those three are all on I think they call it a 3-gang switch. So it's 3 switches on a single outlet box. And the problem with that is it is a Tuya switch because no one makes a Z-Wave or a Zigbee one that I found for the US. And I'm like, I told Zeus, because I love Zeus switches. I'm like, make one. I mean, there is a market for this, but I just don't think it's a big enough market for them to care. But that's a pain that I can't. So I may have to like use a Shelly or something to split that out. I don't know, but or just I may be buying a new light anyway, so we'll see. But then that's the vanity light. So that's really all I have now for that's the basement bathroom. For the upstairs, similar situation. So yeah, I guess I could show you. Oh, my security. This is one I'm building, and one thing I want to talk about after the dashboards is I'm doing a review of 7 different locks, smart locks for Home Assistant. So that one's both expensive and time consuming. But I can show you. I actually have a top-down camera I want to test out on the stream, so I can show you guys a couple of those locks. So this is my security. So what I do from here, if I long hold on this, so this will stay green if everything's locked. If anything is unlocked, it's red. And when I tap that, it's going to lock whatever isn't. And if it shows locked, if I tap it, it will unlock everything. So it's like a quick, I want to unlock everything. But if you hold long press on that, it takes you to the security dashboard. And that's where I can look at, I have to be careful now, but my basement, kitchen, these are the wall tablets. I'm not showing those either. Office, that you would actually see me. There's a camera right over there. The bedrooms, there's the driveway, which I could show. But those are Wise cams. And Michael, isn't that ZemiSmart like a Smart Life based? That's the problem I had, is that ZemiSmart was Smart Life based. So I'm not sure. That's what mine is right now. It looks, I think, similar to the ZemiSmart, but if it's Zigbee or Z-Wave, I'd do it. But I just don't really want a Wi-Fi one. But so one thing I was going to show that. So I have all these cameras. These are all mushroom cards, as you probably know. But these are 3 of the locks. So the front door's got a quick set. The deck has a Schlage, and then the back has the level bolt. So I do want to show you guys some of those locks. So if you guys have any more dashboard questions, let me know in the next like 30 seconds. Otherwise, I will probably switch to some upcoming stuff that I'm looking at. So just let me know. I'm going to kind of get some stuff prepped here. Let's see. I'm going to switch over now to the top down, and we can always switch back if you guys have more dashboard questions. So this is a test. Haven't done this before, so we'll see. That is my main screen, and this is top down. So this is my first ever doing a stream, guys, so just bear with me. So what I got here is, this is my Yale. So it has another back piece. I just didn't bring it over here. This is the latest one I just got, brand new. So expensive. But this is the one I'm going to actually show. This is what I'm actually going to show last in the video, because it's the last one I tested, I think. But I haven't tested it yet. I actually bought one on Facebook Marketplace trying to get cheaper deals because it's just so expensive. But the problem is, it was a dud. Didn't work. So that's one of the things I want to look at. One of the locks. I have, trying to knock stuff. I tested out the August lock. this has Z-Wave built in. You can see here. Maybe you can't, but Z-Wave built in, and there's a bridge for Wi-Fi. If you want to connect, so this is what I found because I couldn't really find anything clear anywhere online. But if you want to connect the August lock to Home Assistant, you can either connect it via Z-Wave without the bridge, or you can get the bridge and you can connect it via Wi-Fi. Now, and Wi-Fi I mean with the August integration. Now that is not local. The August integration is not local. The other thing though I did not try is HomeKit. So I don't know if with HomeKit it becomes local. It might. That's something I need to ask the Home Assistant guys. But if so, this lock could be decent. I actually loved it, but it also would only fit on my front door, and I wanted a keypad one on my front door. So this is not going to stay here. I'm actually going to do a giveaway for some locks. So yeah, if you guys watch the video, stay tuned, and maybe we'll do it in a live stream. I'm not sure, but I bought these on Facebook Marketplace. I could try to resell them, but I think that maybe I'll do a giveaway if people are interested. But that's one that I won't be using, but I will check the HomeKit thing in my review. The other locks I have, sorry I'm not showing the actual locks too. That's because I have them installed or whatever. But this is the Ultra Lock U-Bolt. No fingerprint, but it's Z-Wave. And this thing is a beast. It's so good looking, I think. And you'll see some of the B-roll. It is really good looking. And it is like, I think it's like ANSI something rated. And what that is that it's really strong. I don't know if I can find that. I'll mention it in the review. But it's like, has a really good rating. In other words, it's strong. Like if you smash against the door, it'll hold up fairly well compared to maybe some other ones. But it's good as I understand it. And it's got the keypad on it. It's really nice. But the problem with it, well, you got to set up with a mobile app. And it's a little finicky to get set up. It's not too bad. Once it's set up, it's set and forget. But the problem with this one, to me, is that, you know how when you log in with, like if you log in with a keypad on like the Schlage and the Quickset, the keypad you type in, that user code will be shown up in Home Assistant so that you can see, oh, I know who came in. That will not happen with this lock. This is basic Z-Wave. That's it. So it's just on off, and you know the state. It actually comes with a door sensor, which can automatically lock the door once the door is closed. The door sensor doesn't show up in Home Assistant either. So it's unfortunately lacking. Okay. But it's a really nice unit. The other one is, let's see. Like I mentioned, if you haven't seen the level bolt yet, this is a dirty package. I got this also. I got this on a, on Facebook Marketplace. What this is you can't really see it here, but it's, man, I wish I had a better way to show this. That's kind of what it looks like. It's all dirty there, but it goes inside your deadbolt. So your deadbolt looks completely normal, except for it extends and retracts with a motor in here. And it's pretty cool. Actually, the first time I saw this was actually on Your Average Consumer. He did a video on this, and it works via Bluetooth with Home Assistant. Problem I found with that is the range. And I know a lot of you guys use like ESP Home, and you guys use Bluetooth extension and stuff like that. I don't use ESP Home yet. So, but you can see how it kind of shows that deadbolt on either side. So it goes in your door. You don't even see it. And when I show you guys the footage, when you guys see the footage in the video, you'll be impressed. Problem is range. I could not get this one to really be close enough I wanted to put it in a different door, and the door I have it in, I really don't want it in. So that might be a giveaway on or on a stream. One other one. This is the Schlage Connect. This is top two, but the price is ridiculous. But it's top 2 or 3. It is really good. It works every time. It works pretty quickly. The keypad, whoever types in on the keypad, you can see what user logged in. You can use it with, I think there's a custom integration called Keymaster, works with this. Also with the Quickset, which I don't have a picture of. It's my first lock I ever put on. Really good, good set of locks. So those are the locks, some of the locks I'm looking at. The other one I looked at was Eufy was a Eufy lock because I thought maybe the custom integration was local only, and I was wrong. So I may include it and just say don't get it. You want your lock to be cloud free. I mean, that's at minimum. Now, to be fair, I think there's a lot of other things to worry about other than someone trying to hack into your lock. I think they'll break your window. But those are some of the things. Yeah, let me know if you have questions on these. Now, another one I was going to do a video about and I didn't, but this just reminded me is, I don't know if you guys have used Innovelli. It seems like you're either an Innovelli fanboy or you're not. I really like their switches. The price is just killer, but they're a small company, but they make these really cool, and you can see that light bar there. They make these really cool looking switches. And I saw AOTech developing a switch where they're pretty much copying that light bar. But these are really cool switches. You can see here. This is a dimmer, but it's got this light bar right here, which is really cool. And this is a function button. So you can set these double, triple, and 5-tap, up to 5-tap for these. So they're really good scene controllers. Sorry, the top-down camera isn't great, but so that's one of the things I was looking at as well. And but what's coming out is, and maybe I can show you guys this. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna call this no, it's Innovelli Blue. I don't know if you guys have seen the Innovelli Blue series. I mean, this is gonna be cool. So it's Zigbee. So they finally got a Zigbee switch, but it's got that bar. So I think this is going to be so cool. So I've already pre-ordered one. I'm hoping to get my hands on that. They have a little video on the Blue series. That thing looks sick. It looks like the red one I just showed you that was a dimmer. But this is dimmer and on-off, so it's just all in one. And this one I think will be awesome. It says scene controls, I understand it. No neutral required, but recommended. You have to have a bypass if there's no neutral, but it's a really cool little device. But they have delays. Companies is having issues, but I'm really looking forward to that one. But other than that, I think I'm going to do a giveaway on this because I got this. I backed this thing and I got it, and I was like, I started watching other people's videos and I'm like, this thing is not that great. Like, I'm getting rid of this. So I have not even opened it. It's still in the box, like sealed. So I may do a giveaway on this thing because I'm just not really. So if anyone else is interested in this, maybe I'll do a giveaway. But the other thing I was looking at as well is this thing. So this is a Sonoff power meter. So check that out. So I actually haven't even opened it yet, but I'll open it here. Let's see if I can. Yeah. So this is the Sonoff power meter switch, POW. Here. Look at that thing. So I guess you hook up terminals to it on right here. Hook up to his terminals, and it displays. And I think Smart Home Junkie has it. He was looking at it, but you actually put it actually shows power usage on it. So I think it's a nice. If it also connects well with Home Assistant using the Sonoff LAN, like the cloud-free EWI Link, integration, that'd be really cool. But it's got a little clip so you can mount it, unmount it from the wall. That's super cool. So that's something I definitely will be checking out, I think. And trying that out. I mean, I'm not sure I'll make a video on it if you want to see it really bad, maybe, but that looked cool, and it was an impulse probably, but we'll see. So the only other thing that I did, I actually reached out to Reolink to see if they'd send me one. I would have bought one anyway because I have an application for this, but I really want to test that out in Home Assistant. This is the Reolink Duo 2. So this is like the second version, and they made it better. So when I saw the first one come out, I was like, ooh, I'll just see what everyone else thinks about that. And I saw it was really cool. So what it does is it actually has two streams, and it seams them together in the Reolink app, so you have like this one full field of view. So I want to see if that stream comes into Home Assistant as like a really wide stream. Like it's 180-degree view, which is amazing. I want to see if that comes in as a really wide stream. So we'll see how that one goes. But that one I'm very interested in. I'm gonna do a little video on that, and that'll be fun. But that's pretty much it for the that kind of stuff. So some of the future videos that people have been asking, I have a huge list of them that I'm working on. Let me pull it up. So let me switch the screen too. So someone asked about doing a video on helpers, and yeah, helpers are really awesome. Like it's like it's like when you tried in Smartthings, you had to make a virtual switch. In Home Assistant, you make a helper, and it's just so much better. So that's something that I'll definitely show if you guys are interested in that. Other things I was looking at is a smart bulb comparison. I actually have a list of, hold on a second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 bulbs that I want to look at. So I have to narrow that down because that is way too many, obviously. So I have to narrow that down. So I will be comparing those. I also will do, someone was asking about a video. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I put a little clip of this on Twitter, but what I can do is, what if I can show this? Oh yeah, maybe I can. So I'm gonna switch the top down again. So I don't know if you guys have seen how you can integrate an Elgato Stream Deck into Home Assistant. And what that does is that allows you to pretty much control, like send commands to Home Assistant, like turn on and off entities. There are scenes and all that. So what I could do to show you is you can kind of see the blue over in this corner, but hopefully this works. When I can change it to like a red, the scene to red by pressing this button. So when I press that, it changes my whole office to a red theme. It actually changes my wallpaper, which I can't show right now because of how my streaming is set up, but it changes my wallpaper to the red Home Assistant wallpaper. And I could change it to like yellow. That's technically orange, I guess. So I have orange, you'll see come on there, and then blue. And I kind of have these toggle back and forth so I can choose a couple of these. So purple, it's another one. Actually, I'll show that in my facing me view. So if you look here, let's do red. Changes to red. That's what I had in my last video. I put a red one. Blue. It's changing everything pretty much instantly. So I have that built into my Stream Deck. I also have it where I'm going to leave it at yellow, or I'm going to leave it at purple. So I also have that where put my Stream Deck on my desk again, where I can do that on my keyboard. So what I'll do is for top down, I'll show you that. So I'm going to put this into a video if you guys are interested. So the keyboard doesn't change, and we're working on that still, but each one of these is set for a scene. So if I want red, I press that, changes everything to red. So what I'm using for this is a mix between Lewis from Everything Smart Home showed a video on a way to control your PC with Home Assistant, and that's the software I use. It's called Has Agent. So I use Has Agent. It can allow you to display Home Assistant notifications right on your desktop, which is cool. But I used Has Agent. I used the macro keys on this keyboard. I used, so there's yellow, you can't really see. Hold on a second, I'm gonna switch back. I used the macro keys on my keyboard, and I used a software called Lively Wallpaper. So there's a whole video that someone already did on it. So I cringe at reinventing the wheel, but I may show that how that works. But that changes your wallpaper, whatever you want. So that is super cool. So anyway, I did that, and I love being able to set my scene pretty much instantly, depending on what video I'm working on, or I can even set it between clips. But Jeff, I made those wallpapers. I'll make them available on my Discord, I think, if anyone wants to download them. I made one for every single color. And I'm actually working on other ones. I actually made one for another guy on Twitter. He asked for one, but I made them and I'll put them on Discord if you guys want to grab those. But yeah, so made those myself. It's kind of fun to do. So that's that. Other stuff that's upcoming that you guys might be wondering. I wanted to show some, one of the things that instead of building your own automations, there are some really good blueprints out there. And I kind of want to show 5 of my favorite blueprints. One of them is, Johnny, I think Hast Agent is Windows only. I believe so. Lewis did a whole video on it. I think it's Windows only. It looks very Windowsy, not very Macy. So, but what was I saying now? Oh yeah, I wanted to show like 5 of my favorite blueprints, because there's so many cool blueprints. Like I could show you a couple of them now, and then I could actually go over in a video. But let's see, Home Assistant. I'm gonna look this up. One, like instead of making your own automations, you could do blueprints. Oh, Johnny, I am sorry for you that you're a Mac user. I am PC and Android only. I just have an iPhone for work. But so I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, and this is probably worth looking at. I'm going to share my screen here. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Blueprints Exchange. If not, you're really missing out. So the Blueprints Exchange is a place where you can go to get tons of different blueprints that people have already made, so you don't have to build an automation yourself, or so you can automate using a device right out of the box. So one of my favorites is called Battery Alerts. I'm gonna show that. Johnny, you're not sorry. Yeah, that's how it goes though. Let's see if I can find that. Low battery level detection notification. This is the one. So this is super cool. So someone made a blueprint, okay? And what you do is you could literally you paste this into a blueprint YAML file, and you have really cool things you can do, and you don't have to build this yourself. So what this does is it allows you to create an automation using a blueprint. And what this does is it sends you an alert. I think it's at a certain time of day. So 10 a.m. tells you, here are all the batteries that are below or within a certain range of battery level. So it'll tell you that. And that's super cool, because now you could just get an alert every day. Oh, I see a couple sensors are down, and you could just ignore it like you do anyway. But if you don't ignore it, you can actually go change your battery. So that's a cool one. It's just like, not everyone, I don't see a lot of videos where people are showing these, and I do feel like these are pretty cool little things you can do. Another one is that I was going to do was door alerts. So there's another one that's for door alerts, where if you have any door open that's left open for longer than a certain amount of time, you can say, alert me. And I actually use that. So all of my doors are on, running on this one blueprint, right? So anytime a door is left open for longer than 10 minutes, and it's often my kids, right? They're going outside to play and they leave the door open. And that saves energy, honestly does. I couldn't quantify it, but it definitely saves energy. So it's definitely a good blueprint to have. There's a bunch more, but I don't remember them all offhand. I have them on a list somewhere. But other stuff I was looking at doing too is smart washer and dryer. I did this a long time ago with Smartthings, one of my first videos. Don't even go watch it. But I did it with Smartthings. I just got to show how I did it with Home Assistant. But those are just a few things coming up. I also have other review videos. So I have light strip reviews I want to do. I also want to do a intermediate WLED, because there's a lot of things that I don't know if you guys saw my WLED video that I made previously, but there's a lot of other things you can do. Some of them are with intermediate and I'll show you right now. Let me pull up WLED and I can show you. Because it's really cool. So let me pull that up. Let's see. Oh shoot, I don't want to do that. That was me turning it off and on. What I want to do is, that's not what I want. I got to go to my WLED in my, I can share this, I guess. But I'll just pull it up. Oh yeah, so I'll share. So if you look here, I'm in my test setup. Actually, one second. Just give me a second. I'm going to pull this. I just want to make sure. You never know if you're sharing personal information on here, so I'm always like a little wary. All right, I'm going to do my office door light strip because that's behind me, and you should be able to see that in this video, and maybe we can do some of that. But if you go to, you can actually visit the device. So I'll share now. So if you're in Home Assistant, right, here's my WLED. You can actually visit the device right here. Right here, see it says visit device. You can actually visit that, and it's going to show the actual UI, which is what you want to do. So if you click visit device, I showed like nothing about any of the actual configuration of WLED. Jeff, I just looking at your message here. What made me move from Smartthings? Honestly, what made me move was, it's actually really simple. What made me stay is more complicated, but what made me move was but when I was just before I even started with smart home, I started with LED strips. And before I knew about WLED or any of that, and I was cheap, just trying to save money, I bought, I don't know if you ever heard of limitless LEDs, which are these cheapo LED controllers, the RGBW controllers, and they use, what is it? Is it RF? I think they use RF with a remote to turn them on and off. And I bought these, and then I bought a Wi-Fi controller for them that I could use my phone to control it. And then I was like, I want to connect them to Google, and that was what I started with Google Google Home. And Google Home, you couldn't connect them, and I'm like, oh, I need you. And then I'm looking around, and everyone's talking about this Home Assistant. I'm like, what is this Home Assistant? So I go on this deep dive. End up watching the hookup videos. I tried installing Home Assistant on a virtual machine. I was following a video, but it was old and I couldn't get it. It wasn't working. I didn't know the fundamentals. I really needed a fundamentals Home Assistant video like the one I made like 2 videos ago. I really needed that, and no one made that. That's why I made that, because I'm like, someone needs to explain the basics. So anyway, when I waited, I didn't install Home Assistant. Later on, the Home Assistant Blue came out, and I was looking, and I started Googling it, and then Dr. Z's made a video where he showed that he was switching to Home Assistant Blue. I'm like, and he's saying how easy it is and how much how great it is just to have the hardware already there, and I was like, I'll follow him. So I actually kind of watched videos, and he was live streaming saying what integrations he was going to bring over to the Home Assistant Blue. And I'm sitting there like, what is an integration? I'll just write this down. So I wrote down everything he did, and I pretty much tried to follow that. And because there was no good guide for Home Assistant Blue. So anyway, or really for Raspberry Pi that I remember. But anyway, I didn't even know what a Raspberry Pi really was at that point. Anyway, so that made me switch. I got my limitless LED, or a Me Light they're called, connected, and I haven't used those in a year or more, 2 years, and I just never switched. Home Assistant became the best to me. Anyway, real quick, I'll just show you guys WLED because I know you guys were interested in that. A lot of people have been interested in that. So one of the cool things you can do with WLED is down here. Okay, you can go to segments. So segments, this is so cool, is where you can you can take sections of the LED strip and you can do different things so they can have a different effect. So I want to try with the light strip behind me. It's going to take a little bit because I'm not very good at this, but I'm going to add a segment so you guys can see. Yeah, no problem, Jeff. So let's say, so I have 280 LEDs in my door light strip. So I'm going to guess that let's focus on the last 100. No, let's say the last 80. So let's go from LED 200 to 80. This will be a segment, its own segment. Okay, segment 0 is going to be whatever is not part of this now. So there's already a segment 0, and it's going to be the first 200. So if I hit check, look at that. I hit it. I hit the nail on the head. If you look behind me, sorry, over here, you'll see it's green. So the lighting isn't great for this, but So I could go to the segment now, and when I go to colors, it'll just change the effects for that segment. If I want to go to both segments, then check both. It'll change everything. So let's go back here, change it to blue. Now it's blue. I want a little darker. So look at that. How sweet is that? So again, the rest of it is still purple like I had before. And I believe, as we're going to check right now, that's not where I wanted to go. I'm going to go my test. Is it test or is it here? Now it's here. If I go to my devices and services, go to I don't want everyone to see all this stuff, but so if I go here, one device, okay, look, so there's segment 1 now shows up. So how cool is that? So segment 1 is controllable in Home Assistant. So once you've made those segments, if you don't delete them, they stay as entities in Home Assistant and you control them individually. So now you can do stuff like automations with those segments. And that is the power of WLED. And I didn't even get into that. I didn't get into that in a previous video. If you want to see that, let me know. But I'm planning on at some point to make it intermediate. That might be sooner rather than later because now I'm getting excited about it. But now if we go back to the actual effects, like you guys know, you've already seen the effects. My favorite effect of all time. We're gonna do Sign Lawn. It's my absolute favorite. Where is it now? Where is it? Can I not do it? Can I not do it here? Oh, that's not good. Maybe you can't do Sign Lawn with a partial. Interesting. Oh, these are the colors. My bad. Oops. All right, let me pick a color. I like Halt. I'll pick that. Okay. So that should give it a color range. So make sure the segment is selected. Should be. So then that should have given it a color range. Let's see if Lava does something different. No, it's not doing it. Let's see. Strange. Well, we'll look at effects. Maybe we'll leave it as Halt. Okay, so let's go to where is it? Config. Nope, that's not where we want to go. This has been a while. Oh, effects. What am I looking? That's what I was looking for. So now we want to do effects. So right now it's solid, and but let's change it to something else so we can see like bouncing balls maybe. Look at that. How cool is that? So just that section. So it treats it as its own separate WLED section. So what I want to use this for is like timers, right? So you can have a timer and you can have the LEDs slowly advance over a certain amount of time. That would be really cool. Let's see if we can do like blink rainbow. Let's see if that works. No, I don't want that. I want something. I want fireworks. Oh, I should do a Sign Lawn. What am I talking about? My all-time favorite. Can't really see it here because of the colors. So I'm going to do default or color one. That's all I want. So now if I go back to effects, I do it, drop the intensity down. I think that's what I got to do. Let me see. That's not working the way I want. Oh, I want Sign Lawn 1, but you can't really see it here, unfortunately. But anyway, long story short, you can do a ton of different effects, bouncing balls being one of the coolest. Let's bring the intensity up, speed down. But yeah, so that's really cool. You can do separate segments. So, I mean, you could break this down. So let's say we want to do another segment, and maybe we say segment 1 is from 200 to 240. Okay. And what you could do is there's other stuff like there's spacing between them. There's an offset. So it's not exactly, I forget what all these do. I've tried them all, but there's a lot of stuff you can do there. So look, I just did 200 to 240. So now I'll do another segment that is 240 to 280. It's already selected. So that's segment 3. So that one could be a totally different thing. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, Jeff, you're right. That if you're doing segments, having all these different segments with random effects can make a really cool, a cool effect. So let's see. So if I'm going to try to apply effect to both segments individually. So let's just set the color to color 1, I guess. Will it not let me do both? Random cycle. It's only letting me do effects for one segment. Interesting. All right, well, we'll do colors, random cycle, and the effect has to be changed to, oh, that's why, because it was the effect. So now you have bouncing balls, but I wonder if there's something random we could do. Oh, I love fireworks 1D. Segments, let's do both. Let's see if we can set the effect for both. So fireworks 1D. So now they're both doing fire. Oh, that's really slow, isn't it? Boom. So you got the fireworks going off. So that's super cool. Anyway, Joseph, you're saying you love WLED. That's super cool. Strip above your door. So is that on the, Joseph, is that on the outside of your house? Because that would be really cool. That would be really cool. One thing too, PC mode. What does that mean? Let's see what you're saying there, Jeff. I don't know, PC. Oh, PC mode. Oh, thanks, dude. You know more about WLED than I do. I've probably seen this, but I just totally I don't remember this stuff. That's really cool. Okay, so you can do the effect. Joseph, that's super sweet. Yeah, that's really cool that you can do that. Yeah, I've seen people do permanent Christmas lights or peak active. What is that? Peak? Oh, I've seen that. Yeah. Dr. Z's was showing that. So if you did fireworks, you could see what's happening. Let's see, where is that? Fireworks 1D. Yeah, that is dope. Does it show it? I don't know if it does. Anyway, but that's super cool. Yeah, so there's a lot more I would love to try with this. I'm going to go to my favorite color and then fireworks. Yeah. Peak shows the animations. That's so super cool. Yeah, I've seen I think Dr. Z's and the Hookup have both done. They're like the grandfathers of Home Assistant, because they're like started way a long time ago, and they like did videos a long time ago. I saw they did how to do permanent holiday lights, which is pretty cool, because they were doing like for Halloween they have like fire flickering, and then for Christmas do the different Christmas lights. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty much it. I mean, I'll definitely go through and show some more of this stuff because it's super cool. Okay, that's cool. So you can sync them. Okay, I'll have to test that out. I've never done any syncing. I mostly just did segmenting. But the cool thing that we talked about is the fact that these segments show up and you just, shut off segment whatever, and it shuts them off. That's so cool. Although this one didn't go off. Now it went off. But that's really cool. That's such a nice way to control things, and that they show up that easily. You just don't want to be like, now I suppose, I think I checked this previously, but let's say I delete those segments because I don't want them. Let's say I delete that. And delete two. So this should be all of them. Okay. So let's say this is all of them. Now, if I go back into Home Assistant, that's not the right one. These are, let's see if I refresh. I may have to restart Home Assistant and then they go away. I'm not sure. But yeah, so those should go away. You shouldn't have those anymore. But anyway, WLED is pretty awesome. Been super cool. If you saw my last video where I have the WLED on the back of my desk, what was happening was it was flashing every once in a while, just flicker. And it was not on purpose. Right after that video, I went into Home Assistant and it showed, actually, might have been while I was filming, it showed that there was an update for WLED and it says fixes flickering. I'm like, oh. Yeah, of course I find that after the video. But anyway, that's that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Anything else I was going to show you guys that I'm working on. I could show you one thing. Give me a second here. I'll show you one other thing that I did that I was so pumped about. It was not me, just me. It was actually, I had to talk to Oh, reload the integration. Okay, let me try that, Jeff. I'll try that quick. Sorry, I got to put the chat on. Go for the door light strip. Reload. All right, now let's go to that device. Maybe I have to reload. Might take a little bit. I'm not sure. I'll look into that though. One other thing I was going to show you guys is something I've been working on with Lewis from Everything Smart Home. Unfortunately, it's going to kill this because it's my Home Assistant yellow. This I worked on a while ago, but I did want to show that. So let me just switch to a different view here, the top down. And let me grab my yellow, and I'll show you something cool. Unless my webcam, okay, it's on. Okay, let me grab that quick. All right, so real quick, I think this will be the last thing here, is Michael, I made a video on it. If you want to check that out, I have links there, but I use BTF lighting and I used WS2812B, but I would recommend, I think it's SK. I'll look it up and you could look at the comments in the video too. There's some good information. I think there's some SK 2812s or 5812 or something like that. I had to look them up. They're pretty much just better version of WS2812Bs. WS2812Bs are cheap. So if you want high density, they use a lot of power and they need power injection. You can't go long distances. Around my door is like the max. You want to go, I mean, maybe a little longer, but you don't want to go too far. But the hookup has a video comparing every single different type of light strip you can think of. And he explains all that. It's one of the best LED videos I've ever seen. So you should check that out if you want to, figure out what strip to use. And both the one I just mentioned, the SK, whatever it is, and the one I use, WS2012, they work. Yeah, SK6812. Yeah, Johnny, that's the one. Yep. That is a great one. Yeah, that I wish I bought those, but I wanted cheap. But I kind of wish I bought those because you could just go a little further without power injection. And these things, I mean, LED strips use so much power. The power supplies have to be pretty chunky. So this is the yellow. If you have more WLED questions, you can keep asking. I'll show you the yellow here. So this is the yellow, and what I did is I put this Z-Wave. You can't really see because this camera is garbage. You know what? I'm gonna switch to my other camera. Hold on a second. So this is the I have to work on focus, but this is the a Z-Wave.me Z-Wave radio. It's plugged into those exposed GPIO pins, which you can't really see. I'm trying to focus on my face. It plugged into those, and it works. I got Z-Wave devices connected, so it's super cool. Costs about $50. Okay, so it's about $50, but it's so cool. It's low profile. I have not tested range because I already have my own main Z-Wave network running. But here's the thing: to do this, you have to figure out, and I figured out most of the way, but then I actually had to contact Lewis, and he was helping me troubleshoot. And I was super glad there was someone else with a yellow to help me with this. But you actually have to access the CM4, the memory on the CM4. You have to get inside here. I had to cover my face. To get inside the CM4, and you have to change the boot file. You have to change it, and then there's a couple things you have to change, which I honestly have to do it again. I'll fully reset this and try and do it again if I can. You have to change a bunch of things. But when you do that, then it will recognize this in the GPIO slot. This does, if you have a CM4 with Bluetooth though, you can't have this in here. Using the GPIO will deactivate, you have to deactivate the Bluetooth on the CM4 to use it. Now the standard version, doesn't come with the CM4 at all. Or sorry, doesn't come with Bluetooth at all. The CM4 is wireless, or is not wireless. And that's because they didn't want it to interfere with Zigbee. I think it's also cheaper. A lot of radios in one device could be a problem, but this works great. It's super cool that you can do this. So now this is comparable to Smartthings. I mean, it's got both radios. Super cool. You can add a Bluetooth dongle, and now it's better than Smartthings. So, and obviously Habitat, not even in comparison. But so that's pretty cool. You actually have to use like this USB recovery. There's like a jumper you got to move, jumper over here you got to move. A lot of stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty cool little unit. It was super fun to troubleshoot. I was up some late nights while trying to make other videos, but with Lewis's help, we got it working, and he was working with some of the Home Assistant devs too. But yeah, that's that. I'll give you guys a little bit longer for any other questions, but that's pretty much all I got. We're approaching 2 hours, which is longer than I ever imagined. So I hope you guys like this stream. If there's anything, a different format you'd like to see other stuff, let me know. Yeah, Johnny, you're right. That's what I heard. I heard exactly what Johnny's saying there, that the reason why is because if you the more radios you have in a device, the harder it is to certify. So just put one radio and it's not so bad. And then as long as they give a tutorial at some point for how to add a radio, or maybe you can buy the radio separately, or, with the kit or something, and put it in yourself, because but they left those GPIO so you can do that, which is super cool. But yeah, the yellow is pretty awesome. Thanks, Joseph. Yeah, if you guys have any ideas for how you'd like the stream to go in the future, let me know. If you guys are interested in giveaways, just keep tuned in for streams. I'll probably do it on a stream. I think that's what I'll do it on. But I mean, I hate to just try to sell these on Facebook Marketplace because you're not going to get nearly the money back that you paid for them. But I will say that giving it to a subscriber would be way cooler. So I'll think about how to do that. I mean, giving it to a member is like paying them back for being a member. But I think it'd be cool. It's just a way to kind of give back to the community, because all these people watching my videos, I really appreciate it, and to be able to give that back with some sort of giveaway is cool. So obviously it also drives traffic, which is good. So anyway, yeah, Ken, I do have my YAML files. I'll just pull them up. Let me just pull them up quick, and I'll put my GitHub right in the, I don't update them often, and I don't have them automatically updated because that looks like kind of a lengthy process. But if you actually check in the description of this video, I don't know if you can see the description of this video right now, but if you can see the description, I do have the link in there, but I'll also put it in the chat here. Hey, thanks, Johnny. Yeah, it's shoot, that's not what I want. I do not want this to recognize me. Anyway, that's the link. It'll be in the description of this video. Yeah, thanks, Johnny. This is my first stream. It's kind of a little uncomfortable, but I did a lot of prepping with OBS Studio and stuff, and I picked the mic I'm using right now about an hour or two before the stream. So I'm getting there. But anyway, yeah, if you guys have any other questions, let me know the next 30 seconds, whatever the lag time is. Wow, I see there's 21 people now instead of 13. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, is there anything you want me to talk about before I drop off? If you have any other questions about any of my videos, let me know. I'm comparing locks now. So I'm comparing locks now, and that's going to take a while though. It's going to take a significant amount of time because there's just so much. The installation is half of it, but I really got to flush them out. And I actually use them every day, go in and out of them every day. My wife uses them, and she'll tell me if there's some issue that's going on. I accidentally locked my son out of the house when I was testing. So there's some things I got to be careful with, but thanks, Johnny. Have a good one if you're headed out. But so there's a lot of testing that goes into those, but it should be really fun. And hopefully you guys like that. It helps you. I see every day on Reddit and the Home Assistant community, on Facebook, people are like, what lock should I use? What lock should I use? And if you guys see that, if you want to just link my videos, if you think they're good, that'd be a huge help. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I did temperature sensors. I'm thinking about also doing this is something that I have on a list to try to do maybe a year later, which smart buttons do I still use and what do I think of them? Because things came up after the video and it's hard to update. I put a pinned comment. Motion sensors, I'll tell you which ones I use. And also, someone else gave me this idea. If you're in the stream or you see this video, comment if you came up with this idea, because I can't remember who did. One of my viewers, they said I should make a invisible smart home video where I show how you can make a smart home, but no one can tell. And I have a ton of good sensors. So there's a contact sensor that's actually inside your door frame that you don't see, or those strip contact sensors. There are smart switches that or there are Shelly relays that you put behind your smart switch. So your smart switch, or behind your dumb switch, so your switch doesn't look smart, but it actually is, and they don't even know. There's guest mode where you turn off all your automations when a guest comes, so they wouldn't know. There's the level bolt lock, which is the one I'm testing now, where it's inside your door, you can't even see it. So there's a lot of cool things I'm going to put into that video, but I need to have tested everything and I'm going to show you, the temperature sensors, contact sensors, bulbs, locks, etc., that are great for a invisible smart home. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Anyway, that's pretty much it for now, guys. I don't see any more questions besides the GitHub. And again, join my Discord if you want to ask me anything else. And obviously, members, I have a spot for super smart homers, which is like the higher tier. If you want me to monthly help you with your projects, I'll do that if you're a member. But it's kind of expensive. I may decrease the price, but it's because I don't have a lot of time to do that. But if you go to join my Discord, you ask a question, I'll help you when I can. We got like 20 people on there, and I'll also put my my wallpapers on there. It'll be kind of our little community hangout. So if you have any other questions, put them there. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, Johnny, for becoming a member, and thanks everyone who subscribed, watched my videos, and I think we'll sign off here. So yeah, much appreciated, and we'll see you.